Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and we're going to look at game number 4 in our 20 from 1980 series, and this was a color vector game created by Atari in 1980. Very cool looking for its time. It had a wireframe, kind of 3D-ish looking settings, and it is called Tempest. And you use a spinner control to rotate your whatever craft that you have, and you sit at the edge of shafts, and enemies come from the bottom of the shaft and rise up towards you, and you need to eliminate them all. And there's various shapes to the shaft, various geometric figures, very cool looking. But you use the spinner to turn that yellow thing at the top of the shaft and rotate it around, and you use a fire button to fire shots down at the enemies. And you can also use what's called a Superzapper, or Super Zap, and that acts as a smart bomb and kills all the enemies. You can use it once on a stage, and if you try to use it again, you'll only eliminate one enemy on the screen with it, and then I don't think you can use it again until the next stage. You get your Super Zapper recharged at the beginning of each stage, and if you reach a certain point value, you might be able to the computer might automatically give you one, make you use one for free, which is kind of cool. You are allowed to start on a stage of your choice that is given to you there, and you'll get bonus points for starting that stage. And we'll begin here. We're just going to start from stage 1. You see these red guys here. They are called flippers, and they flip from a section of the shaft to the next, one section of the shaft to the next. And if they are not flat, you can shoot them and you can even go through them. But if they are flat, they will kill you if they touch you. It just takes a while to get used to the intricacies of the game, including when you can and cannot touch those red guys. But the red guys at some point will be released by these little purple diamonds, and there are little spiral things that are called spikers, and they can leave spikes down a section of the shaft. And note that once you clear all the enemies that you need to clear to move on to the next stage, then you will zoom down. Whoops, I got shot. You will zoom down to the bottom of the shaft and go to the next stage. And if the spikers have left any spikes, and you get forced down to the bottom of the shaft, and you run into a spike, you will die. You will lose a life. And you get extra lives at, I can't remember what point values, but yeah, you can shoot the spikes, and you'll get 1 point for every little teeny piece of the spike that you shoot. And there, I just recently used a Super Zap, but again, you can use it once per stage, or at least you can fully zap all the enemies on the screen at once. And then you try to use it again, and you will only eliminate one enemy. But yeah, remember those purple diamonds will release more of those red flippers. And the game will even tell you avoid spikes. and you have rapid fire. You can hold down the fire button and you will shoot a burst of shots, and then once those detonate or disappear, then you will fire another round. The best way to eliminate those red guys is either don't let them get up to the edge of the shaft where you are, or use the Superzapper, or just stay still and wait till one comes towards you, because they will try to land on you, and if you're shooting at the right time, you will eliminate them easily. Those green spikers, you do not have to get rid of them. In fact, I would ignore them if I were you. Concentrate on the purple diamonds and the flippers. Later on, there will be a couple of new enemies. Ah, crap, I got gored by a spike. You can shoot it as you go to the next stage, but you might not be able to shoot all the spikes in that section of the shaft fast enough before you get gored. But I've never been very good at Tempest. There will be 16 different stages with different geometrical patterns, and then they repeat, but the color of the stage will change. And we're just going to start on the harder one. We're going to start on stage 9. And here is what 9 looks like. I might have already played 9, but I'm going to start on 9, and you get a nice big bonus if you start on the later stages. Once you get good enough at Tempest, then that's really what you should do, is start on the harder one. I put on, I think, invincibility here. I just wanted to show you all the stages. And there I got an extra life at 60,000 points, plus an automatic super zap. Like I said, the game will automatically make you use one, but it gives it to you for free, which is nice. We'll just look at all the different geometrical patterns. And once you pass, oh, there's one of the new enemies. One of the new enemies is called a Fuseball, and he jumps among the rails, and he must be killed before he reaches the top. He debuts on stage 11. There is also what's called a Pulsar, and it's this little electrical impulse, and it rides up 2 rails, and it'll kill the player if it pulses while on their rail. You must kill it before it reaches the top, and it debuts, I think, on stage 17, and that's when you see the new color pattern. And when it pulses, it breaks off a piece of at the edge of the shaft. It'll break off a piece of that, and if you're on that piece, you will die. But that debuts, that's the Pulsar, and it debuts on stage 17. The Fireball, or the Fuseball, is worth like somewhere in between 250 to 750 points. I think maybe depending on how far up the shaft it is. This, I think I first saw this like at the movie theater in, I think Tigard, Oregon, Washington Square Cinemas. They're long gone. There's the Fuse there. He got to the top, but I have invincibility on, so I don't have to worry about him. But yeah, there are a total of 99 stages, and again, there's 16 patterns, a set of 16 patterns, and then that repeats with a different color change. I've never been very good at this. I know this was super popular. I'm not as big a fan of it as other people were. There is supposedly a trick on one of the versions of Tempest, in which if you get a 6-digit score and you get like over 170,000 points, you might be able to make the screen freeze, you might be able to get extra lives, extra credits, all sorts of stuff, but I've never been able to make that work. There is a hack of this called Tempest Tubes, and yes, here see the color pattern changes, and this is where you see the debut of the Pulsars. And yeah, the patterns are the same, it's just the color changes. But now we're going to look at Tempest Tubes. This was a hack in, I think, 1980 by Duncan Brown, and it introduces very cool new geometric shapes. And that's really, I think, all that's different, is the shapes are different of the stages, and we're just going to look at a bunch of them. See, they're really quite cool looking. Very, very neat. I can't remember, I think Duncan Brown might have been like an arcade owner or something, but he made a hack of Tempest, and it's called Tempest Tubes. I never saw Tempest Tubes in the arcades. It is kind of cool looking. I like some of these neato shapes. Tempest is one of the all-time arcade classics by Atari in the early 80s. This might have actually been released in 1981, but it says 1980 during the attract mode, or at the title screen. This was a cool game, even though I couldn't quite get into it like other gamers did. It definitely had pretty impressive graphics for a color vector game. That's Tempest, and there's the color, the first color change. There's like red, green, yellow, a number of other colors that it changes after 16 stages. But that was Tempest, created by Atari in 1980, or maybe 1981. Game number 4 in our 20 from 1980 series. Well, before too much longer, I will introduce game number 3 in our 20 from 1980 series. I hope you all are staying cool. Hope you all enjoy your summer. Take care, and I will see you again soon with game number 3. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.